Hi everyone, NWA and Fox 24 Chief Meteorologist Dan Scoff in the Weather Center. Good morning. It is early Wednesday morning. The time of this recording is around 12:30 in the morning. And we've got a winter storm on the way, but I'll tell you, I do have concerns. I was looking at the latest computer model information, and a lot of the computer models bringing a longer, prolonged period of sleet. That's going to lessen the snow totals. Does that happen? That remains to be seen. Also, the secondary wave of snowfall expected late Wednesday evening is kind of being cut out from the computer models. Now, I don't necessarily believe that quite yet. It's typical when winter weather forecasting, you get these big weather systems, and then as it moves in closer to the event, it kind of removes it from the forecast and then throws it right back in right before the system moves in. So I'm really not making any changes as of now, but the cold air push is not all that impressive, to be honest with you, but this is expected. We're above freezing. I went for a high temperature in the mid-40s to upper 40s across northwest Arkansas. What you're seeing is pretty much our high temperature for the day, because temperatures are starting to drop. 43 in Grove, and it's already in the upper 30s in Joplin. As we look a little bit farther to the north, you got 26 in Kansas City, now at freezing in Wichita, and the cold air continues to, I wouldn't say plunge south, but definitely slowly drift south. It's really cold in the north-central United States at 2 degrees in Bismarck, 10 in Billings. And so the big weather picture is still showing that low-pressure system off to the west. Now, this is a tricky weather pattern, and I'll tell you why. It's a positively tilted trough, so it's going to move in slower than anticipated. And number two is, it's all dependent on these little waves of energy that swing in from the southwest. There's some very warm air aloft that's streaming in, and that could lead to a prolonged period of sleet instead of all of the snow accumulations that are expected. So there's that low. And the problem is, this low is still off the coast of the United States. Yes, it has moved on to Baja, but the upper air sounding network just really doesn't handle or sample this system very much. Our precipitation is actually going to come from the southwest of us as these little waves of energy swing in. We also have a very strong jet stream, and I mean strong. We're talking over 200 miles an hour that will be positioned just to our northeast, and what that's going to do, that's going to bring tremendous amounts of lift across the area, probably more lift than what the computer models are predicting. So on the future track, this is interesting because it's starting to hint. Now granted, I don't believe this, but it does show that freezing rain and sleet potential across the area, and I do believe that late Wednesday morning and into the early afternoon. But look at these snow totals and watch this kind of fizzle out as it works its way into northwest Arkansas. I mean, basically by 4 o'clock it barely has anything. It shoves the precipitation off to the east and kind of brings a little bit into the central Arkansas area. So this is the winter woes of forecasting accumulation totals. The models will giveth high precipitation amounts and taketh away. But this is what I think happens. So we have a freezing rain to sleet mixture, and it's going to change from sleet over to snow eventually. The question is how much snow will remain. I think precipitation is underestimated by that future track model. Accumulating snow does look likely, and the freezing rain to sleet mixture will occur late Wednesday morning. In fact, the Fayetteville Public Schools already closed class and canceled class for Wednesday because of the expected afternoon deterioration of the road conditions. Sleet to snow early in the afternoon, and then we're going to have accumulating snow possibly as early as noon, maybe even a little earlier until 2 a.m. It all depends on how quick that cold air moves in, and also the warm layer of air aloft. That's going to play a big role in our snow accumulations. Heaviest snow will be in eastern northwest Arkansas. I still think some areas could pick up 5 inches, and I know that's a little higher than some of the what we call the 0Z runs, the computer model runs, but I just don't think they're handling the precipitation very well and the precipitation shield, and I just have my doubts with that, especially with what happened last week, Friday into Saturday and into early Sunday. Precipitation never stopped, and we're going to have kind of a similar pattern. So we've got the strong Arctic front. I mean, it may not be so much Arctic. It is in north central United States, but around here it's more of a Canadian air mass. As we move into the afternoon, we got lots of moisture and lift with the what we call frontogenetic forcing, along with a strong jet stream, and we're going to be in what's called the right entrance region of that jet, so we're going to have a lot of lift. If you're a weather geek, from anisotropic lift response to that jet streak. And then extremely strong jet stream as well, as we talked about. So that's kind of the latest here from the Weather Center. I'm not changing my forecast. I know the models will be out. The 6Z runs will happen about midnight tonight. They're already starting to come in, but those mid-time runs, the 6Z and the 18Z, which is basically universal time code, basically saying that, I don't believe those things. So we'll see what happens with the 12Z runs and how quickly the cold air gets. But my concerns are this. We have the cold air moving in, but it's not a very strong push of cold air. We also have a very warm layer of air aloft, and what that does is that prevents all snow from falling, because you're melting your snowflakes in the mid-levels into raindrops. And then how deep will that cold air be? So we are looking at sleet likely, and it could be a prolonged period of sleet. Now it still causes issues. And then finally, how much precipitation will linger? How many waves of energy kind of swing in and bring in a lot of precipitation? Will it be more than expected? If that is the case, then we'll get quite a bit of snow accumulation. If not, our snow accumulations could be lessened considerably. Still though, frozen precipitation on the roads, and also travel issues expected Wednesday afternoon into the evening, and then Thursday morning it remains cold. So that's the latest here from the Weather Center. I'll be updating tomorrow. Keep it here with your Weather Authority. We'll keep you up to date with the latest.